Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tarisa Yuwan Azzahra. Today I would like to read an article with the title "A French Tycoon's Lousy from Bloomberg Businessweek magazine to complete my assignment." Here is the article. A French tycoon's lawsuit, a sale of Universal Music would vindicate Vincent Beller after a string of setbacks. The past year has been unusually harsh for French billionaire Vincent Beller. The former chairman of media Jane Vivendi's was implicated in a bribery scandal in Africa, his electric car sharing program in Paris shut down, and his losing a battle for control of Telecom Italia. The trouble carried at the heart of his plan to create a southern European entertainment juggernaut. He took a ballot at Vivendi's annual meeting on April 15, after investors narrowly approved a measure that can allow his group to increase control over the company. Despite the setbacks, help is on the way from Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, and YouTube. Vivendi is planning to sell a 49% stake in Universal Music Group, the world's biggest recording house. The sale could bring in more than $15 billion for Vivendi and send its stock soaring. Analysts say a payout that will deliver billions of euros to Baller's holding company, Vivendi's number one stockholder. Over the past 4 decades, the 67-year-old financier has transformed a family-owned paper manufacturer in Brittany into a takeover machine with holdings in industries including sports, advertising, media, and battery technology. Along the way, the urban tycoon established a web of interlocking, publicly traded companies and became known as Le Smiling Killer in French financial circles. Yet in contrast to today's shareholder activities who set up companies for the benefit of hedge fund clients, Baller is an old-school corporate trader driven by a more elemental ambition, building a dynasty. In recent years, he's placed his children in key positions at his companies while amassing a family fortune in excess of $5 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Bauer is very proud of his history and he's convinced himself that he can use all the resources of capitalists to consolidate his patrimony familial, his family's wealth and legacy, says Maurice Levy, chairman of the supervisory board at Publicis Group, the Paris advertising giant. Sometimes he's had to behave like a corsair. Like a good pirate, Ballard preferred to sneak up on his target. In 2012, he acquired 4.4% stake in Vivendi, a company founded in the 19th century as a water provider for French cities that had morphed into a global media conglomerate. As Ballard built his stake today, he owns more than a quarter of Vivendi. He started pushing for a stake up and took control of the board that yield the asset that's shaping up to be Baller's salvation. Universal is home to many of the hottest names in music and has deep stone catalogs from the likes of Rolling Stone and Bob Marley. Although the industry suffers mightily as the internet destroys CD sales, revenue has rebounded since 2014 thanks to paid streaming platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music. Morgan Stanley analyst Omar Sheikh says Universal is worth $30 billion, making it Vivendi's most valuable business by far. Its Telecom Italia stake is valued at $2.1 billion. Sheikh speculates that Vivendi might auction off majority stake or even sell all of Universal, which could send Vivendi's stock price up by two-thirds, netting €5.5 billion for holding company Baller SA. The tycoon would probably accept an offer for control if he felt the value was high enough, said Ward in a March report. A lucrative deal for Universal would take much of the sting out of Baller's annus horribilis, which began to unfold last April when French authorities charged him with corruption and forgery in connection with an African bribery case. Investigators suspected his companies over campaign service to politicians in Guinea and Togo in exchange for contracts and ports in those countries. Baller denies the allegation, but with Charles Lumen, he resigned as chairman of Vivendi a year ago and was sacked by his 39-year-old son, Yannick. Baller declined to comment for this story. 2 months later came the day of reckoning for Autolib, Baller Electric Car Semi Service, with its silver-colored subcompacts humming through Paris since 2011. The venture had been a publicity bonanza. Blue Solution, a manufacturer of electric vehicles and batteries, Baller controls. But as Autolib struggles with debt, he asked the municipality for millions of euros to keep the cars running. No deal, said officials, who pulled the plug 5 years before Autolib's contract was due to expire. In Milan, Baller is battling to maintain his hold on Telecom Italia, the one-time state-owned pawn monopoly. Vivendi owns almost a quarter of the carrier shares, and Baller had planned to create a conglomerate in the mold of Walt Disney Co., stealing Vivendi's content from Universal and Studio Canal, Europe's top producer of movies and TV show, onto Telecom Italia's network to extend its reach in Italy. Vivendi acquired 29% of Mediaset SPA, the broadcaster founded by Silvio Berlusconi. The relationship broke down when Vivendi abruptly cancelled its purchase of Mediaset pay TV unit, landing the two in court. And as Telecom Italia struggled under its €26 billion in debt, investors have dumped shares in market. Value has dropped by about half since Baller started consolidating control of the company in 2015. Those troubles set up a brawl with Paul Singer, the New York hedge fund manager whose Elliott Management Corp has acquired almost 10% of Telecom Italia with an eye towards spinning off its friendly landline business. Elliott has said Vivendi's poor stewardship has resulted in deeply troubling corporate governance issues at Telecom Italia and no clear strategic plan. Elliott has first control of the carriers bought from Baller, and just before the company's annual meeting in March, Vivendi abruptly withdrew its candidate for director because there was scant chance that would win. The episode shows that Baller's idea of creating a next-generation media giant with an old jerk company was flawed, said Carlo Alberto Canovelmet, a professor at Bocconi School of Management in Milan. It was an industrial strategy based on yesterday's technology, he says. The difficulties have accelerated Baller's handover of power to his children. Baller stepped down from Vivendi's board on April 15, though he will still advise Ahmad de Puyfontaine, the chief executive officer. Baller's 33-year-old son, Cyril, has now joined Vivendi's board, and he's also set to replace his father as chairman and CEO of Baller SA. Mary, 30, has been the head of the Blue Solutions Auto Venture since 2017. The eldest, Sebastian, 41, sits on the boards of several companies, including Gameloft, a video game maker owned by Vivendi. Baller's primary intention is to make sure he manages to grab even more control to ensure his family legacy, says Pierre-Yves Gauter, CEO of equity research firm AlphaValue. Shareholders should be aware of this. It's unclear how the management dynamics will change, and Baller is tight-lipped when it comes to the inner working of his companies. But the tycoon will still wield significant power via his controlling interest in financial audit, a holding company that Ballers as a biggest shareholder. He's had a lot of ups and downs, says advertising boss Levy, but he always managed to rebound. At Robinson and Angelina Prescott. Thank you for